Senator Brannigan, Representative Perry, and honorable members of the Health and Human Services Committee. I am Ellie Marks, and I live in San Francisco. My husband and I met in high school and married 30 years ago after he attended medical school. I wish I could say that we lived happily ever after. The night of May 5th, 2008, we packed for our baby's college graduation, but our plans suddenly changed. During the night, I witnessed something that I can never erase from my memory. My husband had a grand mal seizure, and within hours, we were told he had a large mass in his brain. Days later, Senator Kennedy received the same deadly diagnosis. Our son had interned for the senator and commented that both men held their cell phones to their heads often. After hearing reports that the Kennedy family felt that his glioma may be linked to his cell phone use, my research began. Alan changed careers to the real estate industry many years ago. He used a cell phone for over 20 years and held it to his right ear. The tumor is in his right frontal lobe. Alan's only other symptom was personality changes that began in about 2000 and became progressively worse. It was a slow-growing tumor in the part of the brain that controls one's impulses and how we relate to those we love. This caused unexplainable chaos in our family for years. Alan tried with all his heart to be a loving husband and father as he willingly sought psychiatric help for years. He too knew something was wrong, just not how terribly wrong. Experts from around the world have viewed Alan's medical records and cell phone records and have documented that his tumor is indeed a result of his long-term cell phone exposure. The discovery of a blatant cover-up in the scientific debate has caused us more harm. There is indeed scientific research proving cell phones are causing brain tumors. All studies, even industry-tainted studies, prove that with greater than 10 years of use, there is a significant increased risk of a brain tumor later in life, 420% increased risk if one began using one before the age of 20. How many of you are coming up on 10 years of use soon? This is a $4 trillion industry manipulating our government and killing people. It is not the consumer's responsibility to prove phones are dangerous. The legal, moral, and ethical burden of proof has been and continues to be on the cell phone industry to guarantee that these products are safe. Since testifying to Congress in 2008, we have been the source of media coverage, including the Dr. Oz show recently. I have been contacted by hundreds who know that their brain cancer or that of their deceased loved one's tumor was caused by their cell phone use. Most are in their 30s and 40s, leaving small children behind. One man died from this last year at the age of 28. His neurosurgeon confirmed the cause. When cell phones were introduced in the U.S., they were exempted from pre-market safety testing by the FDA. The person responsible for this went to work for Motorola months later. 13 long years later, the FDA appointed the FCC to set misleading safety standards, allowing manufacturers to self-regulate. Julius Knapp of the FCC testified after me at Congress. When he was asked why the FCC had not re-examined their so-called safety limits since 1997, he replied that the FCC did not have the scientific expertise to do so. If cell phones were a medication, they would have been yanked from this market years ago. Had there been a warning label such as the one proposed in your great state, my husband would not have risked his life. This legislation will not inconvenience Mainers or retailers. It will save your life, the lives of your children and your grandchildren. If Maine LD 1706 undermines the balance between federal interests in safeguarding public health and the rapid deployment of wireless communications in the most efficient and practical manner possible, hats off to Maine. We need not abandon this technology. When cars were manufactured and accidents became more commonplace, we did not abandon automobiles. Seatbelts and airbags were added, and states enacted safety laws. This genocide does not choose based on one's religion, color of skin, or age. I'm sorry to be so harsh, but I have witnessed the beginnings of this massacre firsthand. My family and the others so horribly affected have shouldered the brunt of lies and deception. I am glad to learn that the Maine CDC appreciates that parents have the right to know about cell phone risks. As someone who has survived parenting teenagers, I think it's important there be labels stuck on phones rather than yet another thing we need to nag our children about. But clearly the state has a duty to warn us all about these risks, and quite frankly, industry has failed us utterly by putting into tiny print advice to keep phones an inch or so away from the body. Advice my dear husband never saw because it was not even provided at the time that he first began using a cell phone over 2 decades ago. There is no doubt that cell phones cause brain tumors. I have no doubt that you will vote yes on Maine LD 1706. God bless you.
Thank you.